entrepreneurship, y'all, they don't tell you it's a spiritual journey. Like, through and through, it's a spiritual journey. And your success, it solely depends on you. And your mental, how strong your mind is, how disciplined you are, how motivated you are. Hold on, am I speeding? Oh, okay. And like ego has a lot to do with how successful you are and how you operate within business, man. And I've been an entrepreneur all my life. 37 years old, right? I've only had one job. And that one job was at 16 years old. And at 16 years old, I worked at Civil Learning Center as a office manager, and I had pretty much ran this man's entire establishment for like $7.50 because he literally taught me the entire business. So I was able to run it with him not even being there. But that taught me a lot about business and a lot about myself, and the fact that, you know, I was always meant to be an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was 7 years old, I was selling fruit on the side of the street when I lived in Miami. So when I was 10, my grandma had me in this type program where you sold products from the catalog. And yeah, when I moved to Atlanta, I was gathering up my friends and when we ain't had shit to do and we wanted money, we would grab resources from my house, their house, and bake some shit and then go in the front of the complex and sell the shit. Like, I've always been an entrepreneur, right? I've done magazines, I've done websites, I've done...
Police reported ahead.
Alright. I ain't speak. Sold clothes, made t-shirts, managed models, managed up-and-coming artists, did club promotion. Like, it's so much shit that I have done. But and everybody knows, like, I've been a hairstylist for the past 20 years, right? But I no longer do hair. But because I have my salon suites, right? And I've had my salon suites, let's say about 5 or 6 years. The first suite I had with a friend of mine, it was like half suites, half barbershop. And the partnership, we dissolved the partnership. He kept the spot. I went and did my own thing. That's when I created Hair Be Poppin'. Well, I created Hair Be Poppin' when I was behind the chair, but that's when I branched off and did Hair Be Poppin' salon suites, right? And I can honestly say at 37, as I've been doing my self-mastery and self-awareness journey and spiritual journey, like, I know now that I was operating out of ego. That is what drove me all those years, trying to prove to myself and to others that doubted me that I was who I appear to be. Feel me? And anytime I had a relationship where I felt like they didn't support me, they hated on me, or just like downplay my dreams, like, my ego drove me to be like, alright, I'm gonna use this motivation to show them. And I did, right? space I'm in my entrepreneurship. Like, my business is failing, right? And it's like, I mean, shit, so what? Like, businesses fail. The more you, like, if you're not failing, you're not living, right? That's the only way you learn about life, about yourself. And then you take what you learn and you execute. But my business is in a state of, I gotta figure out if I'm finna keep doing it or if I'm finna like revamp it and keep and recover, or if I'm a pivot. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm in a stage where I really don't know. I really don't know. Like, I'm a firstborn daughter. Shout out to the firstborn daughters. I'm also an Aries sun, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a natural leader. I'm a natural innovator. I'm a natural visionary. And I'm the person who everybody goes to for advice, for financial help, for everything, right? So I pour and I pour and I pour and I pour, and I just looked up and I'm like, damn, I really don't have nobody to pour into me. And ever since then, it's like my whole makeup just really switched, because it's just like, you kind of did this to yourself. Like, your ego attracted individuals that you knew could not pour into you, because it kind of made you feel better about yourself. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I don't pour for ego boost, but I was this person who was like a people pleaser, who felt like I had to do to prove my worth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been surrounded by narcissists since forever. So, but my worth is not tied to my productivity or my finances, and I had to learn that the hard way. And I just feel like all of that has been tied to the success that I've had in my business. But since I've come to the aha moment, it's like I don't really give a fuck no more. But I gotta give a fuck, because that's how I make a living, right? That's how I pay my bills. That's how I do everything. That's how I have the freedom to do me. So it's like I had 2 locations. I had 33 units, and I paid maybe like $14K to franchise, and I still gotta pay them $10 more K to continue, right? But at the $14K mark is when I started realizing, like, man, this is a lot of responsibility. This is a lot more people that I gotta pour into. And I mean, yeah, they in a sense pouring into me because I make money off them opening up locations, right? But I gotta pour into them first before I can even see that. And I just was like, damn, I really don't have no more to pour. And I really don't want to cry, because for a long time I used to be like, cringe at people crying on camera all the fucking time. But I just feel like those people kind of really don't have no ego. So when you let go of your ego, you are in a more vulnerable space. And I can honestly say that I'm just not getting to a vulnerable stage. Like, I don't allow myself to be vulnerable. I don't allow myself to be available emotional, because I've been coached like all my life, like especially to be successful in business, that you kind of have to be emotionless. But I'm a whole fucking woman, a leader, a siren, a visionary, a whole fucking portal. Like, I make people's dreams come true. How can I not have some type of emotion and vulnerability? So, yeah, like I said, like I said, my business is in a wreck, man. I gave one of my locations away, which is the McDonald's location. I gave it to one of my tenants. Shout out to Kayla. She had been with me for like maybe 3-4 years. She always paid on time. She kept expressing the fact that she wanted, you know, she was inspired by me. She wanted to be like me. And I'm sitting here like, girl, if you only fucking knew the shit that comes along with being me, you might want to rethink that shit. But I like to take people under my wing who express things like that. And at that time, I was just like so like loud with my business. I asked her, did she want to take over the lease for McDonald's? She said, yeah. I said, you don't even have to keep it as the same name. But if I was thinking correctly, I would have did the deal with her and still made her keep the same name. But I was not thinking logically at the moment. I was moving from emotion, and that's a moment in time where I actually felt I was being vulnerable, and I was moved from emotion, right? And that's something that I've been coached not to do my entire freaking life. And I kind of see why, but at the same time, it's just like every moment is connected to the next. So if God put that on my spirit to move like that at that time, then that's what it was. But yeah, anyway, so I got my other location. I got 24 suites in there. I want to say it's like 17 people in there. Probably 3 or 4 people probably late. And when I say late, I mean like 2 or 3 weeks behind. I gotta make a decision if I'm gonna put their ass out or not. And I got debt up the ass. Man. Up the ass. Because of course I incurred that to get started, right? But instead of being super disciplined and not going out, not taking trips, and not helping people, that's my downfall too. I help people a lot financially, bro. My family and strangers. Like, I'm always giving money away. To the point where my dad don't even talk to me right now because of it. Because at the time that he asked me for money, not only was I getting one of my locations together and I had poured everything I had, but everything I had and then some, because I had to keep freaking borrowing money because I had just helped some motherfucking body before I got the location. And when I say help, I mean, I ain't talking about $50 here, $100 here. I be throwing racks out, pouring and sowing seeds, right? Bad habit. Because a lot of times it be people who not even gonna pour into me. They're not even gonna pour into me. Or they might say they're gonna pour into me and then they get gone. Or the business be good and then as soon as I step away and be like, alright, you got it, now the business going to shit. Like, I don't know. Anyways, I told you I got ADHD, so stories and information derail a lot. But I'm gonna get back to it. What was I saying?